Listen carefully. This message did not find you by accident. Today is December 23rd, and something rare is unfolding around you right now, something that does not wait, something that does not repeat itself easily. If you are here at this exact moment, it means a door has already begun to open in your life, even if you cannot see it yet. There are moments when heaven moves quietly. No noise, no warning, just a sudden shift in timing. And tonight, before midnight, that shift is aimed directly at you. You may have felt it already. A strange pause in your thoughts. A heaviness mixed with hope. A feeling that something is about to change, but you do not know how or when. This is not imagination. This is alignment. Archangel Michael's message today is not general. It is specific. It is timed. And it is reaching those who have been patient longer than they ever thought they could be. You have carried responsibilities that were never meant to be yours alone. You stayed silent when speaking would have been easier. You kept going when stopping would have made sense. And heaven has recorded every unseen moment. That is why this message begins now. Tonight, a golden miracle is moving toward you, not symbolic, not distant, not delayed. It is practical, tangible, life-shifting, and it arrives through a path you were not watching. Many people believe miracles come with noise, but the strongest ones arrive quietly, almost unnoticed, until suddenly everything makes sense. Before midnight today, one piece of information, one message, one realization, or one opportunity will touch your life in a way that changes the direction of your next season. And here is what makes this moment powerful. You do not have to chase it. You do not have to force it. You only have to stay open. Archangel Michael speaks now to protect your focus. Because distraction is the only thing that can delay what is already scheduled. There are forces that wanted you tired, wanted you doubting, wanted you scrolling past this moment. But you stayed, and that choice matters more than you realize. Something that was blocked is being released. Something that felt late is being realigned. Something you quietly gave up on is being restored in a new form. This miracle carries a golden signature because it affects more than one area of your life. It touches stability, direction, and peace, not all at once, but in a sequence that begins tonight. Pay attention to how you feel in the next few hours. Calm will replace pressure. Clarity will replace confusion. And when that happens, you will know this message was meant for you. Do not rush. Do not doubt. Do not close your heart. This is only the beginning. Stay with this moment. Do not rush past it. What you are experiencing right now is not confusion, it is transition. And transition always feels uncomfortable before it becomes clear. Archangel Michael's message today is meant for those standing at a crossroads they did not plan for, carrying questions they never expected to ask. You may feel pressured lately, as if time is moving faster than your answers. You may feel spiritually overwhelmed, sensing that something unseen is happening around you but not knowing how to name it. That is not weakness. That is awareness. Here is the truth many never hear. When heaven prepares a blessing, it first adjusts your perception. That is why certain people have stepped back from your life. That is why plans have shifted unexpectedly. That is why silence has grown louder than noise. These are not losses. These are signals. God does not always speak with sound. Often, He speaks with alignment. And right now, your life is being aligned for something that cannot arrive in chaos. Archangel Michael stands as a protector in moments like this, not to frighten you, but to steady you, to help you recognize the difference between delay and preparation, between confusion and redirection. The signs around you have been increasing: repeated thoughts, sudden memories, unexpected pauses, a deep inner nudge telling you to slow down and listen. These signs are not random, they are guidance. What God is preparing to send your way requires clarity of heart. That is why distractions are being removed. That is why emotional weight is being lifted, even if it feels strange at first. Tonight's golden miracle is connected to understanding. Before anything changes on the outside, something settles within you. Peace arrives before proof. Assurance arrives before evidence. If you are feeling calmer than usual right now, that is not coincidence. If your breathing has slowed, that is not chance. If something inside you feels quietly hopeful, that is confirmation. This is the moment to stay present, to listen fully, to allow this message to sink deeper than the surface. If this message is speaking directly to your season, let it anchor you. If it feels like it is describing what you could not put into words, pause for a moment and let that recognition stay with you. Some moments are meant to be acknowledged, not rushed past. And if someone you care about has been walking through confusion or pressure similar to yours, let this message reach them too. Sometimes guidance multiplies when it is shared at the right time. Stay connected. Stay open. Stay attentive. What is being prepared for you is closer than you think, and the clarity you have been asking for is already unfolding, one moment, one realization, one step at a time. Pause for a moment and stay right here. There is a reason this message feels different from everything else you have heard recently. It is not louder. It is not dramatic. Yet it reaches deeper. That is how divine guidance works when it is personal. Right now, your life is in an urgent season, not because something is wrong, but because something is being rearranged. When God prepares to move someone forward, He first changes what they notice, what they tolerate, and what they trust. That explains why you have felt unusually sensitive lately, why small things affect you more deeply, why certain conversations drain you, while silence restores you. This is not weakness. This is refinement. Archangel Michael's presence in this moment is about protection of direction. Not protection from people, but protection of purpose. There is a path opening that cannot carry unnecessary weight, and heaven is gently teaching you what to release. Think carefully about what has been happening around you. Plans that did not move forward, even when you tried hard. Doors that looked promising but quietly closed. People who faded without conflict or explanation. These were not mistakes. They were mercy. Sometimes God answers prayers by removing what would delay you later. Sometimes protection looks like redirection. And sometimes guidance comes disguised as confusion until clarity arrives. Here is the surprising truth. What you thought was slowing you down was actually positioning you. The miracle promised tonight is not random. It connects directly to what you have been learning, enduring, and preparing for without realizing it. That is why this message resonates now and not before. God warns His chosen ones gently. He protects them quietly. He guides them patiently. The signs you are seeing are not meant to scare you. They are meant to steady you. That inner voice telling you to pause before reacting. That sudden calm when you choose patience. That growing sense that timing matters more than speed. These are not thoughts. They are instruction. Positioning yourself to receive what is coming does not require effort. It requires alignment. Alignment of heart. Alignment of focus. Alignment of trust. Tonight, as the day moves toward midnight, stay aware of subtle shifts. A thought may settle differently. A decision may feel lighter. A sense of assurance may replace worry without explanation. That is how realignment feels. If you have been asking for direction, know this. It is already being given, just not all at once. God does not overwhelm. He confirms step by step. Stay grounded in this moment. Stay open to quiet clarity. Stay connected to the peace rising within you. The golden miracle promised is not distant. It is approaching in a way that strengthens you first, so that when it arrives, you recognize it, not with surprise, but with certainty. And certainty changes everything. Stay with this moment until the end. What is happening now is not accidental timing. It is confirmation. When a message continues to meet you without resistance, it means your spirit is ready to receive what your mind has been questioning. This is the stage where many people step away too early, but those who remain experience something different. Completion, understanding, peace that does not depend on answers. Archangel Michael's message reaches its deepest point here, because this is where preparation becomes reception. Everything you have heard so far has been alignment. Now comes positioning. God does not send miracles into uncertainty. He sends them into readiness. And readiness does not mean perfection, it means openness. That is why tonight matters. Before midnight, something shifts, not loudly, not dramatically, but decisively. It may come through a realization that suddenly makes sense of recent events. It may arrive as a message, an opportunity, or a clear direction that settles your heart. What makes this moment rare is not the miracle itself, it is your awareness of it. Many people receive blessings without understanding their value. You are different. You have been prepared to recognize what is arriving. This golden miracle carries restoration, not just of circumstances, but of confidence. Not just of hope, but of trust. You may notice that fear has less influence over you now. Doubt does not speak as loudly, and patience feels easier than it did before. That is the final sign of alignment. God guides His chosen ones quietly, but consistently. And when protection has done its work, provision follows naturally. As this message settles within you, allow yourself to acknowledge what resonates. Reflection strengthens alignment. When truth is spoken aloud or shared in stillness, it anchors deeper. If this message mirrors your season, let it remain with you beyond this moment. And if someone you know is walking through confusion, pressure, or uncertainty similar to yours, allowing this message to reach them could be the exact nudge they need. Do not rush the next hours. Do not dismiss subtle changes. Do not underestimate quiet certainty. Tonight does not end like other nights. What has been prepared is now approaching. What has been promised is now aligning. And what you have been waiting for is closer than you think. Stay open. Stay grounded. Stay present. This is not the end of the message. This is the beginning of the arrival. Remain here. This is where everything settles. By now, you may feel something quietly shifting inside you. Not excitement, not fear, but a deep sense of readiness. That feeling is important. It means resistance has softened, and clarity has begun to take its place. Urgent seasons do not last forever. They exist to awaken awareness. And once awareness is awakened, guidance becomes easier to recognize. What you have been experiencing lately was not random pressure. It was preparation. God does not move His chosen ones forward without first strengthening their discernment. That is why you have been noticing patterns more clearly. That is why your tolerance for confusion has decreased. That is why your heart has been asking better questions. This is growth in its quietest form. The signs God uses are not always external. Sometimes the greatest sign is inner stability returning after a long period of uncertainty. Sometimes it is the calm decision to wait rather than rush. Sometimes it is the sudden understanding that you are not behind, you are exactly where you need to be. Archangel Michael's role in this season is to guard what is coming next. Not everything is meant to arrive all at once. Some blessings are layered so that they strengthen you instead of overwhelming you. What God is preparing to send your way is aligned with who you are becoming now, not who you were before. That is why the timing matters. That is why this message reaches you today and not earlier. If you have been asking for reassurance, let this be it. You are not missing anything meant for you. You are not late. You are not forgotten. Divine intervention often begins as quiet redirection. And redirection always feels uncomfortable before it feels wise. Positioning yourself to receive what is coming does not require action, it requires trust. Trust that what is unfolding is intentional. Trust that clarity will continue to build. Trust that protection is active even when unseen. As the hours move forward, stay present. Notice peace where there was worry. Notice patience where there was urgency. Notice confidence where there was doubt. These are the signals that guidance is working. This message was not meant to rush you. It was meant to realign you. And alignment always brings strength. Stay grounded. Stay aware. Stay open. What God is preparing has already begun its approach. And when it arrives, it will not confuse you. It will confirm everything you have felt along the way. Stay present. This is the phase where understanding becomes strength. By now, you may realize that the urgency you felt earlier has softened into awareness. That is intentional. When God guides, He does not rush the heart, He steadies it. And steadiness is what allows you to receive without fear. What you thought was spiritual pressure was actually spiritual attention. Heaven has been paying close attention to your decisions, your patience, and your restraint. Not the loud moments, but the quiet ones. The moments when you chose peace instead of reaction. The moments when you waited instead of forcing outcomes. Those moments mattered more than you know. The signs God uses to guide His chosen ones often appear as inner confirmations rather than external proofs. That is why clarity is now replacing confusion. That is why certainty is growing without explanation. You are being guided away from what drains you and toward what strengthens you. Think about how your perspective has shifted recently. You no longer chase validation the same way. You no longer fear silence as much. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. These are signs of protection working quietly. What God is preparing to send your way requires maturity of spirit. Not because it is heavy, but because it is valuable. Some blessings arrive only when the heart is calm enough to hold them. This is why timing matters. If the miracle had arrived earlier, it would have confused you. If it arrived later, it would have frustrated you. Now, it will confirm you. Divine intervention does not interrupt your life, it aligns with it. That alignment is happening now, step by step, thought by thought, breath by breath. Position yourself by remaining still within. Stillness does not mean stopping. It means trusting the movement you cannot yet see. As you listen, let reassurance settle deeper. You are being guided, not tested. You are being prepared, not delayed. You are being protected, not restricted. This message is not meant to stir emotion, it is meant to stabilize faith. Stay attentive in the coming hours. Guidance often arrives when the mind is quiet and the heart is steady. It may appear as a clear thought, a peaceful decision, or a sudden sense of knowing. That knowing will not be loud. It will not argue. It will simply feel right. That is how you recognize alignment. Remain grounded. Remain open. Remain calm. Everything unfolding now is leading you exactly where you need to be, without force, without fear, and without confusion. Do not drift away now. This is where meaning becomes memory. What you are sensing at this point is not emotion, it is recognition. Something inside you knows this message connects with your life in a way that is precise, not general. That recognition is important, because it means your spirit is aligned with what is unfolding. Urgent seasons are never comfortable, but they are always purposeful. God allows moments of pressure only when something valuable is about to be revealed. Not to test your strength, but to refine your awareness. And awareness is what allows guidance to land without resistance. Look back at the last few weeks of your life. Situations that forced you to slow down. Moments when you felt pushed to reflect. Times when answers did not come immediately, but clarity came later. Those were not pauses. They were positioning points. The signs God uses to guide you are subtle because they are meant to build trust, not fear. That is why peace has been increasing quietly. That is why your reactions have softened. That is why you feel steadier now than you did before this season began. What God is preparing to send your way is not meant to impress others. It is meant to strengthen you. It aligns with your values, your growth, and your future stability. That is why comparison has lost its grip on you. That is why impatience no longer feels natural. That is why you are learning to listen inwardly instead of reacting outwardly. This is guidance working exactly as intended. If you have been asking for reassurance, receive this clearly. You are being led with precision. Nothing essential has been missed. Nothing important has been overlooked. Every step has been counted. Divine intervention does not rush the chosen ones. It protects their timing. As this message reaches its final moments, allow yourself to sit with certainty rather than questions. Certainty does not shout, it settles. And when it settles, it stays. You are not walking alone through this season. You are not guessing your way forward. You are not relying on chance. You are being guided. Carry this awareness with you beyond this moment. Let it influence how you respond, how you decide, and how you wait. When the next step appears, you will recognize it, not because it is loud, but because it fits. Stay open. Stay steady. Stay aligned. What God has been preparing is not behind you. It is ahead, and it is approaching at the right time, in the right way, for the right reason. Stay here a little longer. This is where everything becomes clear. By now, you may notice that your thoughts feel quieter than before. Not empty, focused. That is not accidental. When guidance has been received, noise fades naturally. This calm is a sign that your spirit has settled into alignment. Urgent seasons do not end with answers. They end with understanding. You no longer need everything explained. You simply know when something is right and when it is not. That inner certainty is one of the strongest signs God uses to guide His chosen ones. Think about how different you feel compared to when this message began. Less restless, more grounded, more assured. That shift did not come from words alone. It came from recognition. Something true reached you, and truth always stabilizes the heart. What has been happening around you recently was not meant to confuse you forever. It was meant to sharpen your discernment. God allows moments of pressure so that wisdom can form without force. That is why you are no longer reacting the same way. That is why you are pausing before decisions. That is why your patience feels stronger than your urgency. These are signs of guidance working internally. What God is preparing to send your way aligns with this new steadiness. It will not create chaos. It will not demand haste. It will arrive in a way that feels natural, timely, and confirming. Divine intervention often feels like relief before it feels like change. You may not see everything yet, but you can sense direction now. And direction is more powerful than detail. When direction is clear, the next steps unfold smoothly. Position yourself by staying connected to this calm awareness. Do not rush back into noise. Do not second-guess what has settled in you. Trust the clarity that has replaced confusion. This message was not meant to excite you temporarily. It was meant to strengthen you sustainably. Carry this steadiness forward. Let it influence your conversations, your choices, and your expectations. When something meant for you appears, you will recognize it, not because it demands attention, but because it fits perfectly. Stay aligned. Stay receptive. Stay at peace. The season you are entering will feel different from the one you are leaving, and that difference is the confirmation you have been asking for. Stay with this moment. This is where awareness becomes direction. By now, you may feel a quiet confidence forming, not excitement, not anticipation, but certainty. That certainty is rare. It appears only when confusion has finished its work and clarity has begun its own. Urgent seasons do not exist to overwhelm you. They exist to prepare you for alignment. And alignment always brings a calm strength that does not need explanation. What you have been experiencing lately was not instability. It was recalibration. God often guides His chosen ones by changing their inner posture before changing their outer circumstances. That is why you feel steadier now. That is why distractions feel less tempting. That is why your focus has sharpened without effort. These are signs of protection. Think about how your reactions have changed. You pause instead of rushing. You reflect instead of reacting. You trust your inner sense instead of external noise. That shift did not come from chance. It came from guidance. What God is preparing to send your way is aligned with this version of you, not the earlier version that questioned everything, but the current version that understands without needing proof first. This is important to recognize. Divine intervention does not create pressure. It removes it. And when pressure lifts, direction becomes visible, not as a detailed map, but as a clear next step. Position yourself now by honoring what feels settled inside you. Do not override it. Do not second-guess it. Clarity does not argue, it confirms. If you have been asking for reassurance, receive it here. You are moving forward correctly. You are responding wisely. You are not missing what is meant for you. The guidance you sought has already begun working. You can tell because peace has replaced urgency, and patience has replaced fear. This message was meant to stay with you beyond the screen. Let it influence how you move through the rest of your day and the days ahead. Guidance continues even after the moment passes. Stay aware. Stay grounded. Stay receptive. What God is preparing will arrive in alignment with who you have become, and that alignment is your greatest confirmation. Stay here. This moment still matters. What you are feeling now is not the end of a message, it is the settling of truth. When something is real, it does not fade quickly. It anchors itself quietly and reshapes how you see everything that follows. Urgent seasons do not end suddenly. They resolve gently. God does not rush clarity. He allows it to mature within you so that when movement begins, you move with confidence instead of fear. That is why this message has unfolded slowly. Each layer was meant to reach a deeper part of you. You may realize now that the confusion you once felt no longer has power over you. Questions that once demanded answers now feel less urgent. That is not avoidance. It is trust taking root. This is one of the strongest signs of guidance. God protects His chosen ones by teaching them when to act and when to remain still. Stillness is not inactivity. It is readiness without anxiety. What God is preparing to send your way is aligned with this calm awareness. It will not shock you into chaos. It will meet you where you are steady enough to receive it. That is why this season had to happen first. If you look honestly at yourself now, you will see growth you did not notice before. Your patience is deeper. Your discernment is sharper. Your faith is quieter but stronger. These changes did not happen overnight. They were formed through every moment you felt unsure and chose not to give up. This message exists to remind you of that. You are not standing at the edge of something uncertain. You are standing at the threshold of clarity. And clarity does not demand attention. It simply waits for acknowledgement. Carry this awareness forward. Let it influence how you respond to delays, decisions, and opportunities. When the next step appears, you will not feel rushed to take it. You will feel ready. Stay steady. Stay aware. Stay aligned. What has been unfolding within you is preparing you for what is unfolding ahead, and that alignment is the reassurance you have been asking for all along. Do not disengage now. This is where reassurance becomes certainty. At this point, You are no longer listening for answers, you are recognizing truth. That shift is powerful. It means something inside you has already agreed with what is unfolding, even if your mind is still catching up. Urgent seasons reach this phase quietly. God does not end pressure with noise. He ends it with peace that holds its ground. And that peace is present with you now, stronger than it was before this message began. Look closely at what has changed within you. You are no longer seeking signs out of fear. You are no longer demanding immediate clarity. You are no longer unsettled by waiting. That is guidance doing its work. The signs God uses to protect and guide His chosen ones are not always events. Sometimes they are inner shifts that make future events easier to recognize. That is what is happening now. What God is preparing to send your way will not surprise you into doubt. It will arrive with a sense of recognition, as if something finally clicks into place. That is how alignment feels. This is why recent experiences unfolded the way they did. This is why certain delays happened. This is why you were asked to pause, reflect, and trust. Nothing was wasted. Divine intervention is not dramatic, it is precise. It moves you into the right position so that when opportunity, clarity, or provision arrives, you receive it without confusion. If you have been asking for reassurance, receive this fully. You are exactly where you need to be. Your timing is protected. Your path is intact. The strength you feel now is not temporary motivation. It is settled faith. And settled faith does not need constant confirmation. Carry this awareness forward. Let it guide how you think, how you choose, and how you wait. When something meant for you appears, you will not hesitate. You will recognize it. Stay present. Stay grounded. Stay confident. What God has been aligning within you is preparing you to move forward with clarity, and that clarity is already yours. Remain still for a moment longer. This is where assurance becomes strength. You may notice now that the urgency that once pressed on your thoughts has transformed into calm awareness. That transformation did not happen by chance. It is the result of alignment settling into place. Urgent seasons do not end with a dramatic sign. They end when the heart feels steady again. God does not guide by confusion. He guides by clarity that grows quietly, layer by layer, until doubt no longer dominates your thinking. That is what has been happening within you throughout this message. Notice how your focus feels different now. You are not searching desperately. You are not anxious about what comes next. You are not unsettled by what you cannot yet see. That shift is guidance taking root. The signs God uses to protect His chosen ones often appear as emotional balance returning after long periods of uncertainty. When peace returns without explanation, it means something unseen has already been resolved. What God is preparing to send your way is connected to this steadiness. It will not arrive to test you. It will arrive to support you. It will not confuse your direction. It will confirm it. This is why timing matters so much. If clarity had come earlier, you would not have trusted it. If it came later, you would have doubted yourself. Now, it feels natural. Divine intervention aligns the moment with the readiness of the heart. You are positioned now not by effort, but by awareness. You are listening more carefully. You are choosing patience more easily. You are trusting your inner guidance more confidently. These are not small changes. They are signs of protection at work. As this message continues to unfold, carry this steadiness with you. Let it influence how you respond to uncertainty and how you wait for what is next. Waiting does not mean nothing is happening. It means something important is forming. Stay attentive to calm signals rather than loud distractions. Guidance often whispers, and those who are steady hear it clearly. Remain grounded. Remain receptive. Remain confident. What God has been preparing is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to meet you exactly where you are now, with clarity, peace, and purpose already in place.